Okay, if you've been following us for any length of time, you'll notice that our results page is totally different than it used to be. It used to be just here was the trigger, here was the stop. We'd show a couple highlights from the day. And I've decided that I wanted to make our results page more education oriented. So I actually, instead of a look what we did type results page, don't you wish you remember, I just want to kind of use it for education to explain why we called what we called in the chat room, and it probably gives a better window into what goes on in our chat room versus, hey, we called it here, this is how high it went, here was the stop. So hopefully I get positive reaction from switching this up a little bit. And to get started, there's the videos are going to slowly compile, but right now you have to start somewhere, so this will be the first video. PXS, I actually made 2 calls in today. The first one was when it looked like this. Again, I didn't actually say, I don't think, hey, here's a trigger, here's a stop. I said, hey, this PXS is very coiled. I like this one over the high of day if it gets there, because you have this. Remember, if you've seen my other video on resistance versus catalyst, you know that these spikes up, they get faded pretty quickly instead of a lot of consolidation. I view those as catalysts. I view them almost as dominoes. So you have a very coiled intraday pattern. Then you have a domino here, potential catalyst, right? And these start to fall, then it could really go. And GLBS, another shipper, had gapped up on earnings. So this one, most traders were watching this. And so I said, hey, watch, keep your eyes on this one for a high of day break with these dominoes above. I always call them catalysts above. And look what happened. It ripped and made an afternoon call in it as well, which I wanted to share. Identified a seller right at 290. And that seller on level 2 stopped it right there, stopped it cold again right here, but is putting in higher lows. It's really putting in a nice flag pattern. So the call in the chat room, this one I did give an actual call. I said over that 290 seller, you've got the possibility of the high of daybreak, and shorts might get squeezed here because they're fading this, thinking, hey, all these shippers are crap stocks, and I'm not. I don't worry about balance sheets when I trade. They probably are, right? So anyway, my second call of the day, the first one was a high of day breakdown here. Second one was over 290. And when it looked about like this, right, it hit 290 to the number. And again here, I thought if that 290 seller gets taken out, probably going to take out the high of day, hole number 3, possible inflection point, and maybe a squeeze. And so the second trade, still working well. It's still an hour and a half to go in the session, but there was 2 nice trades in PXS. If you have any questions, shoot me an email.